Perfect. Well, hello and welcome. My name is Dee Williams, and I am your expert recruitment trainer and coach for the recruiting and staffing industry. And today I am here with another tutorial. And this one isn't so much more of a tutorial as it is kind of something to think about while you are growing your niche recruitment and staffing agency business. So, I'm here to talk about one of the things that I love to talk about the most, which is recruiting and staffing. I'm so thankful that you're here. Hi. And feel free to dive into the chat box, which I do have open on my screen here. So if you want to just say hi, if you have questions, all that good stuff, I am here to answer your questions. And I'm super excited about this time today because we are going into a space where we're learning more and more about what's needed or what it takes to become a great niche recruitment and staffing agency business, and all the things that we can do to set us apart from our competition, to show value within the industry, to make a crap load of money, to impact lives, other people's lives, our lives, the economy, all that great stuff. And so as you're picking up the phone and you're dialing and you're talking to candidates and you're talking to clients, sometimes we get this great response, right? And then sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, not another staffing agency. And even on some of my videos, it's very interesting because you'll see people who are like, oh gosh, we don't need staffing agencies, or staffing agencies suck. Or what else have I heard? They're trying to use us. Just all types of negative things. And a lot of people don't really know how to handle that. So today we're going to talk about why the recruiting and staffing industry has this bad rap and what we can do about it. And, mainly how we can handle running our business with this bad rap around. So what prompted me to do this training session was I came across this article on the Staffing Industry Analyst magazine, Staffing Industry Review magazine. This actually came out May 2016. And it was very interesting because it was titled Not Just Another Stinkin Agency, How to Overcome the Industry's Bad Rap So Clients Can See Your Value. It was written by Scott Wintrip. And typically I would do a live session like this on our TV station on staffingstartup.tv. Which is also a radio show as well. In this particular instance, I felt like it was important for me to do it under the Staffing Academy brand because I feel like more people from the brand are here, and I really feel like this is something that needs to get out and something that we need to talk about. So let's talk about it, right? So first, what I want to do is read a little bit of the article. Hey, Ryan, I'm glad to see you here. I want to read the article a little bit, and then let's kind of go in and talk about this, because I believe that you will see by the end of this article just how important it is to niche your recruitment and staffing agency business and so forth. So again, the article is Just Another Stinkin Agency, How to Overcome the Industry's Bad Rap So Clients See Your Value by Scott Wintrip. Okay, so the staffing industry, let me put my glasses on here. The staffing industry provides a tremendous service of great value to its customers, but still gets a bad rap. Some companies think staffing agencies are nothing more than a necessary evil, and they're not shy about saying so to anyone who'll listen. When clients give you flack, they're trying to tell you something. They need better results. Case in point, that's right, Ryan, power of the niche. Case in point, a CEO from a staffing firm, a 30-year industry veteran, called me to say he'd finally had enough. The last straw, at the beginning of a recent sales meeting, the client surprised the CEO with a remarkable blunt question. Are you truly different, or are you just another stinking agency? Having encountered this same situation countless times, I told the CEO that this was great news and presented us with a huge opportunity. Problems always define the solution, I told him. The following issues have plagued the staffing industry for decades. This is issue number one. Staffing firms neither own nor control their product. The people provide to customers have free will. The people provided to customers have free will. Firms have no control over the work they do or whether or not they show up for work. Different staffing and recruitment firms do essentially the same thing. Yes, some do certain things better than the others. Some put unique twists on common services, but when it comes down to it, buyers tend to lump all staffing companies together. It's easy to compete on price. So many firms do. Price wars undermine the value being provided, increasing the perception that staffing is a commodity. I want to talk about that. Oh my gosh. Being truly different requires creating truly better outcomes for customers. If you want to be different, you have to be better. To be better, to provide better outcomes, you have to define those outcomes in advance and plan strategies to create them. Here are 3 steps to better outcomes. Number 1, determine the outcomes you wish to create. To improve things for a buyer, you need to understand not just what's going on in their company, but what they're missing. Your job is to show them a better way, a better outcome. Number 2, leverage the 5 impacts of staffing. These critical impact areas can enhance your services and improve client outcomes. By exploring the implicate questions associated with each impact area, you'll create true and meaningful differentiation. Flexibility. How can we deliver more flexible solutions that solve more of our customers' problems? Accuracy. How accurately do we match jobs and candidates? What do we need to change to achieve perfect matching? Quality. Where is our quality of talent or service inconsistent? How can we leverage our strengths to improve our quality across all areas? Value. What do our customers value most? How can we best learn what they value and deliver more of it? Immediacy. Customers typically need someone yesterday. How can we deliver the talent they need the moment they call? Number 3, pick the right impact areas to create the desired outcomes. My CEO client dug deeper and found out why his client was so blunt. It was simple. He was frustrated by persistently long time to fill, and none of his current agencies were addressing the issue. Using my impact areas as a blueprint, the CEO and his team offered a faster on-demand approach for filling critical roles. Time to fill went from weeks to hours. Now that same client is a huge fan because he's getting much better results. Potential customers in every market engage in the same kind of stinking thinking. Potential customers in every market engage in the same kind of stinking thinking. These buyers and their companies provide you with a great opportunity to improve their circumstances, turning them into huge fans of what you do. And what do? You plan and deliver better outcomes. Well, I think that was a very interesting article, and it was definitely one I felt like we needed to touch on almost immediately when we're talking about starting and growing your very own niche recruitment and staffing agency business. Now, someone said knowing the ins and outs of your industry is key. That is say it again. That's 100% right. The more you know about your industry, the better. And let me just tell you, one of the homework assignments that I give each and every one of my one-on-one clients, as well as in my academy, is read your articles. You should have your Google alerts coming into your Google Alert articles coming into your inbox every day. And you should be checking out what's going on in the industry. And I'm not just talking about the recruiting and staffing industry, but I'm talking about the industry of the niche that you're supporting. So if you're supporting the IT niche and your niche is placing Java developers, then you should know everything there is to know about the Java industry. You should know what's happening, what technologies are being released, what technologies are being used, how the candidates feel about it, where the biggest need for Java developers are, where's the least need. I mean, you should literally know the ins and outs of your industry. My mentor many years ago, he said, D, you've got to build a farm of for yourself. You've got to know in every way, form, or fashion what's going on in that particular niche and who's in that niche, right? So that's one of the big things that he kind of drilled into my head and that I want to drill into your head. Before I go into major detail about some of the specific areas that they were talking about in this space, one of the main areas that I really want to go into and to discuss, which I feel like it was like the key to this whole article, was the niche, right? I believe that when you're talking about recruiting and staffing as an industry, you have niche job boards. You should have niche recruitment and staffing agencies, because one of the things they asked about was immediacy. Clients are looking for positions to be filled fast. How can you fill a position fast if you don't have a pipeline? How can you not have a pipeline, or how can you have a pipeline if you have not developed your niche, if you don't have a niche? This is why the majority of the larger staffing agencies are failing, right? Because they're like, oh, just give me any job you have and I'll go and fill it, versus focusing on a specific area of an industry to be able to provide their client not just immediacy, but to be able to provide them value, to be able to provide quality, flexibility. They all go together, right? So it's imperative to understand that when you are niching your recruitment and staffing agency business, you automatically fill what did they call this? The 5 impacts of the critical areas. You're automatically filling the area of flexibility, accuracy, quality, value, and immediacy, because you have a tighter niche. You have a tighter niche, which means that when you're reaching out to clients and you're saying, hey, we can fill this Java development position, you can actually literally go in and call your network and say, we just got a Java developer position for this particular area. Who's on board? Who's on deck? Or who do you know? And they'll start coming to you just like this. So I feel like this article, and yeah, you hear it, just another stinking agency, because the majority of the agencies are really literally, just taking any job and working any job and not really putting the thought into who they're servicing as a client. You cannot be everything to all. You should not be everything to all. Now, one of the other things that I thought was very important is you need to understand what's going on in in the client's company, what they're missing. Your job is to show them a better way, a better outcome. Let's talk about that in more detail. When you are talking to these clients, one of the very first questions that you should be asking is, what's going on in your business? What's going on in quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3? What are your expectations? What's keeping you up at night, right? I've got a list of questions which we're going to go over later on. Look, these are all my questions that I feel like that you should be asking, but you've got to ask questions to be able to understand your client before you can ever service them. So many staffing agencies are so excited about getting the job order that they literally take the job order. They don't know what's going on in the company. They don't know what's right, what's happening, none of that. They just want that job order because they're looking for that dollar. But remember, you are a company that is offering a service, that's offering a solution. How can you offer a solution if you don't know what the problem is? And understand, the problem is not always, I need to fill this position. The problem could be around the bottom line. The problem could be around speed. The problem could be around quality. The problem is there's so many different issues that companies are having. It could be around retention, right? There's so many different issues, which is another another thing we'll talk about later on Staffingpreneurs Academy when we do the live training this week. We'll also, then that's on Wednesday, when we talk about strategy, we're going to go through that in detail. But questions you should be asking. What steps have you taken to fill the position, so far? What steps have you currently taken? What resources are you using? Are you using job boards? Hey, my love, how are you? Are you using job boards? Are you using LinkedIn? Because whatever they're using, you don't want to use, right? Because you want to be able to offer a level of value. You want to ask them, do they have candidates in front of them? You want to find out about that company. You want to find out what it is that that company is experiencing, good, bad, ugly, and different, so that gives you a better idea to be able to know what type of candidate and what type of solution you want to offer. Now, one of the things that they said that the issues that has plagued the staffing industry for years is the staffing firms neither own nor control their product. The people provided to customers have free will. Firms have no control over the work that they do or whether or not they show up for work. I kind of disagree with this because if you're on the staffing side, those candidates belong to you. They're your employees, so you do have control of that. You have no more control over an employee than that company has over that employee when that candidate decides to work there. The same types of liberties that employee has with your firm is the same type of liberties that employee has with their firm. They can go into that firm, take the job, and not show up for work. It happens all the time. They can go there and not, show up on time or lollygag in the office all day. The same thing they do for you in your company is the same thing they can do. The liberties are the same. So that means that the risk is the same. It's just more about candidate control. And most companies don't have candidate control other than the fact that they sign the paycheck. But we have the ability to create candidate control through the relationships that we build. When most people go to get a job, they don't have a real relationship with the hiring manager or the HR person. They're coming in brand new. But as niche recruitment staffing agencies, we can actually go and develop the relationship with the candidate, which initiates candidate control. So as that candidate is going into that company and we're constantly in contact with them, then we have more ability to control the actions of that candidate than actually they do if that candidate was a new hire in their business. So I want you to keep that in mind. We bring more value. I don't believe that first one even to be true. I believe that we actually bring more value from that perspective than what they would if a candidate actually went to work in there. So that's a selling point for us as a niche recruitment and staffing agency. They also said different staffing and recruitment firms do essentially the same thing. Some do certain things better than the others. Some put unique twists on common services, but when it comes down to it, buyers tend to lump all staffing companies together. And granted, we do the same service from the perspective of placing people. But again, I feel like this is kind of bogus because McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, Zaxby's, they all do the same thing. They just have their own twist. Can I get a amen on that one? A ashe on that one? A hello on that one? They all do the same thing. They have a twist. Nike, Converse, Skechers, they all do the same thing with their own twist. Who else is it? Louis Vuitton, the Choo Shoes. Every service or product out there basically in its industry does the same thing with their own twist. So and they're all lumped together to some degree, but you still understand quality versus non-quality, right? Some people believe Nike brings better quality than Skechers, or Skechers brings better quality than Nike. Or Jimmy Choo shoes are better than Payless shoes. However, they still do the same thing, right? So it's a matter of you setting yourself apart from the other players in the industry to show your quality and to show your value. And one of the ways that you do that is by starting or having your very own niche recruitment and staffing agencies. That's right. Brooks Brothers Clothing has their own twist. I mean, we're all wearing clothes with different tags on them, right? We're all wearing shoes. We all eat at the same places and all those things. So what? That's irrelevant. But it's what we do with that information that it's how we run the business that determines what makes us different from the next person. So you've got to keep that in mind. And again, the niche, in my opinion, is where the quality increases, the value increases, the immediacy increases, because you have a relationship with a network of individuals who are needed in a particular area of business. That is your twist outside of your personality, or the fact that you offer training, or the fact that you offer career coaching, or the fact that you offer resume writing, or the fact that you offer an affiliate referral program, or the fact, or whatever else that you decide to add on to your business to create that twist. You know, I don't feel like that should keep us for value. Now, they talk about it's easy to compete on price. So many firms do. Price wars undermine the value being provided, increasing the perception that staffing is a commodity. Now, I do agree with that, because when the recession hit, oh my gosh, when the recession hit in 2008, I mean, staffing agencies became, the words I want to say I probably shouldn't say out loud, but they really got afraid, and they decided, oh, we'll go down to $10,000 per placement flat fee, $5,000 per placement flat fee, and really taking away the value of recruiting and staffing, because we do a lot of work. I mean, we do a ton of work. If you are passionate about recruiting and staffing like me, it's not uncommon to work in the evenings and in the mornings, or on the weekends, or what have you, or on holidays even, taking advantage of the time that you have, with candidates who are transitioning. You're spending hours on, to source candidates, but not just that, you're spending a lot of time to secure the candidates. And that's really where our value comes in. And it takes time, it takes resources, it takes money. And so when we're doing those things, $5,000 is not enough for the time that you're putting in. You're sometimes working way more than 40 hours a week. So you should not be, there should be no price competition. The industry really should kind of have, this is what we are, this is who we are, this is what we offer. And really, in my opinion, everyone in the industry should stay along those lines. Now, that's my professional opinion and my personal opinion. However, it's not like that. And for people who work like me and who provide quality like me, I want to get paid my full 20 to 35% direct hire fee. I want to make sure that my gross profit margin is between 35 and 40%, because I work hard for that. I work hard for what I do. And I feel like I should be paid accordingly, just as Bill Gates gets paid based on his value. Steve Jobs got paid based on his value. The CEO of IBM and of Under Armour, of all these places, get paid based on that value. We as staffing agencies should get paid based on our value as well. So I believe that is something that's super duper important. Now, I want to go back in and have just a small conversation about immediacy. They say here, customers typically need someone yesterday. How can we deliver the talent they need the moment they call? Again, I want to go back to the niche. When I'm training and coaching my staffingpreneurs, one of the things that I say is, before you ever call a client, before you ever take a job order in your niche, you should be on that phone talking. Let me get some water here. On that phone, talking to candidates within your niche, so that you have a good understanding of who's there, what they're doing, what type of opportunity they want, so that you can make the proper match, right? Please forgive me. I am so thirsty. I've been talking all day. All right. So those things are super duper important. When we talk about value, what do our customers value most? How can we best learn what they value and deliver more of it? Ooh, I've got something here. There is a book out. I would encourage everyone to go in and to purchase a copy. Can you see this? This book is called Ask. It is by Ryan Levesque. I think I'm pronouncing his name properly. I'm going to hold it up a little bit longer here for you. The book is called Ask. The counterintuitive online formula to discover exactly what your customers want to buy. Create a mass of raving fans, and take any business to the next level. And I have been reading this book. You see, I got like Post-it notes in here or what have you. This book is pretty awesome because it talks about the power of the survey. It talks about how to get a clear understanding of what your clients want, what types of questions to ask, how to ask the question, and what series that you're asking those questions to be able to better understand your market. This is something that you can also do in the very beginning of starting your niche recruitment and staffing agency to gain a better understanding of what your clients want and need. And now, if they're unwilling to do this online, then pick up the phone and call them. Okay. But understanding, and doing your research and knowing what your clients want and need is going to be very important and as far as you creating value for them. Quality. Where is our quality of talent or service inconsistent? How can we leverage our strengths to improve our quality across all areas? Well, first of all, I think this goes back into understanding what your clients really want and what your clients really need. A lot of times clients don't even know what they want. They just know that there are things that need to be done, and these are the things that need to be done, and we need somebody that can come in and do all of these things plus more. It's up to you to sit down and have those conversations with those hiring managers to get a good understanding of what those tasks are, how they relate to the outcome of what they're looking for, and what you can deliver in order to service them in that proper way. And then that's when you start to see the quality come up. The more you understand about your clients and what they want and what they need, the easier it will be for you to be able to offer quality, value, immediacy, and all those great things. Accuracy. How accurately do we match jobs and candidates? What do we need to change What do we need to change to achieve perfect matching? I think it's great that we have ATS systems out here that provide algorithms that help with the matching process, but I don't believe that any technology today can match a person exactly to a position, because again, when you're matching a person into a position, it's 4 different areas where you're matching them. You're matching their technical skill, which is, can they do the job? You're matching the functional skill set. Are they on time? Are they detail oriented? All of those things. You're matching the culture. Do they fit into our environment? Do they dress like us? Do they dress like us? Do they like to work 80 hours a week like us? Do they want to play ball with us or eat with us? Do they bring their pets in with us? That's your cultural environment. And then you also have the work-life balance. And I kind of talked about that in the culture, but the work-life balance has a lot to do with whether or not the candidate can work that shift the way they want to have the same type of working schedule where, if that makes sense. When I think about the work-life balance, does that person have to leave every day at 5:00 when everybody else on the team is staying until 8 or 9? That ties into culture to some degree as well. So different things like that. So accuracy, technology can never fill accuracy, in my opinion. It always takes that recruiter to come in and to be able to hear the candidate, to be able to feel that candidate's energy, to be able to listen to what that candidate is saying, to watch out for red flags, blue flags, yellow flags, orange flags, green flags, brown flags, purple flags. Hello. right? And to be able to see whether or not this candidate is going to accurately match. And the only way they can do that is by you having a relationship strong enough with the hiring manager, where the hiring manager can tell you exactly what we need or what they need to be able to understand the company's culture, to be able to understand the work-life balance culture around what they need, to be able to understand what they need from a functional perspective. And then you take that and then use the tools of the ATS, merge them together to be able to create accuracy. And no better way to do that is by having a truly defined niche. Hello, high five. Okay. High five. All right. Flexibility. How can we deliver more flexible solutions that solve more of our customers' problems? Well, again, understanding what challenges your clients are having. Is it that the candidates are not showing up for work? If they're not showing up for work, what kind of program can you develop for flexibility? I'm going to tell you one thing. One of my favorite staffingpreneurs, they're a mom and daughter duo out of Oklahoma City. One of the things that they did with their niche recruitment and staffing agencies, when they were working with the hospitals, they went into the hospital and said, okay, tell me a little bit about your process. The hospital tells them their process, and they tell them, not only will we recruit your candidates, but we'll also take a piece of your process off of you. You show us how that works. We'll mirror that process within our staffing agency. That way, as we're finding people, we're pushing them all the way already through the process. So by the time they're coming in the door, they're coming in the door running and ready. A lot of staffing agencies don't have the oomph, the girth to be able to do that. But that is a great example of flexibility and how we can shift this industry and in a major direction to be able to offer flexibility. And again, when you have a strong niche, you have the ability and the power to do that, to be able to offer flexible solutions. If you're covering everything, it's going to be a lot harder. If you're doing healthcare, IT, all of those things, and you're a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man firm, it's going to be a little more challenging to take on something as large as that. The example I just gave versus, and I don't want to go on because I can do this, but you understand where I'm coming from? We have to find out what the clients are missing in order to be able to offer these flexible solutions. So I hope this was kind of helpful. They ask a question on the end. What do you do? What do you do? You plan and deliver better outcomes. I believe going in the door, talking to hiring managers, you let them know my sole desire is to create a better outcome for you. What can I do to do that? What's keeping you up at night? Where is the hiring process, missing? What is the hiring process missing, and where is it hurting? And again, you're not here necessarily always to replace the recruiting or the HR department, but to support the recruiting and the HR department. You're here to support the hiring managers. Many times they don't have enough people on staff to help fill all the positions they have. Many times the staff can't find what they want. There are so many different reasons why recruiting and staffing agencies are needed. We talk a lot about that in Staffingpreneurs Academy, and we're going to go over that in more detail on Wednesday when we do our live training talking about strategies and business development and so forth. So those are some questions I want you to think about. This was a great article. I hope I've given you some insight. I hope you can take a look at this article and read through it and really find things where you can show your clients the value. Because let me tell you, it's not just another stinking agency. I believe, and I say this with love and respect solely. Honestly, when you're talking about those larger firms that don't have a niche, yes, they are just another stinking agency. But when you're talking about a small niche recruitment and staffing agency that spends the majority of their time loving in, nourishing, their niche, then you've got something totally different. Now it's not just another stinking agency. It's an agency that provides value, that provides flexibility, that provides accuracy, quality, value, immediacy. They are the difference. They are the difference, and they are what most companies are truly looking for. So I hope you found this quick tutorial to be valuable. What I would ask is a few things. One, please like this video if you felt like it was valuable. Please comment below if you feel like there was something that I missed, or if you know some ways where you offer as a niche recruitment and staffing agency flexibility, accuracy, quality, value, and immediacy. Please share this video. Want to get the word out. Also, please subscribe to this channel. Typically, these are the types of articles that we talk about on staffingstartup.tv. So go to YouTube, type in staffingstartup.tv, and subscribe to our channel, because we're going to have tons of special guests coming in and talking. We definitely will talk about what's going on in the news of recruiting and staffing. And we're super excited to have you there with staffingstartup.tv. I absolutely love each and every one of you. Mwah. You are officially learning more about adding value to the recruitment and staffing industry. We really, honestly, and truly value your time. For more training from the recruitment and staffing industry on how to start your own niche and recruitment staffing agency business, please go to staffingpreneursacademy.com. We look forward to seeing you there. Have an absolutely amazing day. Bye.